Hey everybody, happy Thursday morning. We got more Seahawks updates, a little bit about training camp, although that's not going to be the focal point of this video because we got some interesting news yesterday afternoon, and we're going to spend most of our time talking about that because that's a little more pertinent to this team than the little things that happen in training camp. Those things are still interesting, those things are still good. I definitely want to make sure we as fans stay on top of what's going on at training camp. But yeah, we got a very interesting report yesterday that I think should put a lot of people at ease. So we'll get to that. But first, training camp yesterday. The injury report looks about the same. I don't think we're going to have Posick or Penny or DJ Reed against the Raiders. It's kind of a question mark if those guys would have played even if healthy. I don't know who's going to play, period. Honestly, with the offensive line the way that it is, I don't know if you want Wilson out there at all. It sounds like a risk that you don't need to take, but injury report is about the same. The most interesting thing I saw at training camp yesterday was where a particular player was getting snaps. Phil Haynes. I don't know how many of you guys remember Phil Haynes, but he started a playoff game for us a couple years ago. We drafted him a couple years ago. I've said before that I think he might have some game. I kind of like what I see from him. I feel like he could have a future in the NFL. Things have transpired to not really give him the opportunity to show what he has. And I think it's become clear that he's not part of our future plans because of Damian Lewis and Gabe Jackson. But I feel like he could be good. And now, with the issues the Seahawks have at the center position, Phil Haynes has been getting in a decent amount of reps in camp at center. So, for Phil Haynes fans, and I mean, I'm not saying he's the next great offensive lineman, but if you kind of like Phil Haynes, that's encouraging because Phil Haynes could potentially make a pretty good center. I know we're all sick of playing these guys out of position all the time, but I like that. And beyond that, LJ Collier had a really good day, supposedly. Akella Witherspoon answered some questions about the cornerback competition and how it's making everybody better. Yeah, that's not really what's interesting right now. What's interesting right now are the Jamal Adams contract talks. So the Seattle Times yesterday afternoon/evening sent out this story with some details, and they do give numbers. And I'm going to go into the nitty-gritty on these numbers, and when we're done, you'll see why I'm no longer concerned at all about this, and I don't think you should be. So, Seahawks not budging on their final offer in contract talks with Jamal Adams per sources. So, we've made our offer, and we've been very clear that our offer is final. What is that offer? $70 million for about exactly 4 years, excuse me. That is $17.5 million a year with $38 million guaranteed. So it is just barely below Bobby Wagner's per year value on his contract, which is exactly what the Seahawks wanted. And it makes a lot of sense. It would make him the highest paid safety in the league by over $1.5 million. Close to $2 million. So, what is the holdup? Let's take a look here. If you go down in this article a little bit, Adams' representatives seemed amenable to that salary package and then countered with what they saw as a reasonable request, $40 million in guarantees. So, 4 years, $70 million is totally fine to Jamal Adams, as near as we can tell. Based off this article, Jamal Adams thinks 4 years, $70 million sounds fair. So do I. So do a lot of people out there. 4 years, $70 million. That's probably going to be the contract. This holdup is about $2 million in guarantees. The Seahawks want $38 million. Jamal wants $40 million. $2 million, not in pay, not in contract value, but just in guarantees. Adams also wanted to move bonus money into the first 3 years of the contract. The Seahawks prefer to spread it over all 4 years. Now, that's not nothing. You definitely want to have bonus money spread out so you have a little more flexibility down the road. And as a player, you want that bonus money earlier on so it's more likely that you get it. But the difference between what the Seahawks are offering and what Jamal Adams is asking for is pretty small. We are talking about $2 million in guarantees, again, not value, guarantees, and the precise alignment of bonus money. I don't know about you guys, but if I'm Jamal Adams and I might be the best safety in the league and I'm one of the best players in the league and I'm entering my prime, I just turned 25. I could have a not super long, but long enough career that puts me at a Hall of Fame level with the track that I'm currently on. I'm on a team that should be good this year, and if a few things break right, could contend for a Super Bowl. I'm about to sign a contract that will set me up and my family and my progeny for at least a generation or two. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going to throw that all away over these amounts. 2 million in guarantees and the alignment of bonus money. I refuse to believe that Jamal Adams is going to say, I'd rather just not play football this year and punt on a year of my prime. That 2 million in extra guarantees is that important to me. The bonus money not being in that final year is so important to me that I will sacrifice a year of my prime and just sit out, or, and this might be even worse for him, play on the last year of his deal. And for very obvious reasons, he will not want to do that. He would be very foolish to play on the last year of his rookie deal. So when you look at this, if this is accurate and both sides are cool with 4 years, 70 million, and they're just haggling over a tiny bit more or less guaranteed and the exact positioning of bonus money, this is going to get done. It just is. Like, if they were tens of millions of dollars apart, then I would get it. Like, there's a huge Grand Canyon-sized valley between what Jamal wants and what the Seahawks are willing to give. Then I could understand, like, this could go on for a while and he might not play football to start the season, but 2 million in guarantees, like, that's going to get resolved, okay? And I'm not even guaranteeing that Jamal Adams is the guy who blinks. It could be the Seahawks. They might just go, okay, fine, give him the extra 2 million guaranteed. Who gives a crap? We're trying to win a Super Bowl here. Who cares about 2 million guaranteed when realistically Jamal Adams will probably be on this team beyond that this initial contract extension anyway. Or at least it's possible. So somebody's going to blink over this minor of a consideration. Somebody's just going to blink. So I'm not worried about Jamal Adams being on the field for week 1. And I think if you really think about these numbers and think about what they represent and what they mean, it just makes sense that you shouldn't either. Let me know what you think down below. I'm going to get out of here. Peace out. Go Hawks. Probably another video later today. Not 100% sure. Maybe a video on extending Jamal Adams if we actually do it. All right. See y'all later. We're close, guys. This is as close as it can get.